A madman on the loose. At least that's what police are saying. We have word right now. Hold on, let me do it again. Hold on, let me do it again. Hold on. A madman on the loose. At least that's what police are saying. As a man this morning broke out of his rehab facility and bit the nurse on the way out. The suspect we are looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is Angelo Bodetti. He checked into a rehab facility. I don't know what's going on, guys. Cut this music off. What is going on, guys? Welcome to We Want Picks. My name is Jacob, aka the Freckled Salamander, here to give you the full card breakdown for UFC Perth live and in person. It is me and me alone on this wonderful, beautiful, extraordinarily sexy Tuesday afternoon. As you can see and as you heard the news, Angelo is on the loose. That son of a bitch took a bite out of the arm of his caretaker this morning at rehab. We do not know where he is. If you see this guy, he's probably not going to be moving very fast. But if you see him, please do not try to approach the individual. He is fucking hungry. And when I say hangry, this is the most hangry man we have ever seen in our lives. Over the weekend, he went to rehab, not for drugs, not even for alcohol, that you would think, for gluttony. We were trying to save his liver. We were trying to save his kidneys. We are trying to save everything about our guy Angelo. He made it through the weekend, took a chunk out of the arm of his nurse. Please, please, for the love of God, help us find Angelo. This is going to be a full card breakdown. We'll get going here in a second with the breakdowns. There's going to be plenty of time for that. What we got to talk about right now is how is everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday? How is everybody doing after that absolutely riveting card that we had last week? My God, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time thinking to myself, by golly, how was I lucky enough to be able to do this on a fucking Saturday night? Watching decision after fucking decision, nonsensical fight after nonsensical fight. Now we have the card that should deliver. I think that this has the opportunity to be one of the best cards of the year. We've had some good ones recently. Rough start to the year, but we've had a great run of cards lately. And this one has enough matchups to make this very interesting. There's some finishers. There's some people that probably shouldn't even be in the UFC. And the last time we had that was in Winnipeg, in my opinion. Some interesting name matchups. Some people that probably didn't belong. And we're going to see. I mean, this one seems like it should be locked. This one should seem like... Wait, this one seems like it should be loaded for finishes. It starts at, I think, 3 a.m. Central Time. And I might have to stream. I'll be honest with you. I might have to stream. And just a quick reminder too. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight. I'm eating some nerds gummy clusters. We're gonna get into the breakdowns. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. But if you're subscribing, honestly, I'm not even sure why at this point. Angelo's fucking, we don't know where he's at. I'm trying to hold this baby down. Not only we're going to break down the entire card, we're going to look at prop bets and stuff along the way, answer some questions, maybe listen to some music. We will open some cards too. I do have 3 packs that we can open. Shout out to Matty Betts, home of fight. I still think it should be home of the fight. It's just home of fight, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. Home of fight. Home of fight. Whoa. Hold on now. You say home of fight a little too fast, and things get real interesting. home a fight. So we're going to open some packs, and I'm going to be a little Tapology boy here today. Typically, we got the Angelo's working, the graphics and setting it up, so we got nice graphics, but I'm just going to go live for you guys so we can just hang out and be one of those little Tapology boys. You guys love your little Tapology boys, that this is what all they do, so fucking if they can do it, then we'll pull it off as well. But first of all, we got a 2-spot from Hey Legons with the 2 Udos. Thank you. We need stream 100%. Yeah, we're going to have some fun here tonight. No Angelo, nothing to slow us down. Vibes are going to be high. We're locked. We're loaded. How is everybody? Is everyone pretty excited about the and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put in timestamps so you can skip around and stuff, but the live chat replay should be up too, so if you want to listen to this while you're doing whatever, I don't know, this is just cool, calm, casual stream. Like it if you can, and we're gonna hang out and break down some fights. Yeah, let's just jump into the first one real quick, and then we'll get going from there. So first fight of the night, should we do it with Tapology or the odds? Let's just go to the Tapology. It's gonna be Kody Steele versus Fran. Complete honesty, complete openness, complete whatever. I have a little bit of a negative bias versus Fran. He is a tough son of a bitch. He is a good grappler. He is pretty relentless. I picked against him. Was it my lock of the week? I know I picked against him in the last fight because I didn't love that he almost starts, he has to be losing fights, and then he starts taking over late with kind of toughness and relentlessness. He can't be taken down. He is a hittable guy. His last fight, he was lucky that he had the speed advantage. And this fight against Kody Steele, I think Kody Steele is better everywhere in this fight. Now, what I do worry about is Kody Steele is a very high-level grappler. He's like a fucking JJ guy, whatever. But also a very good boxer. But he thinks he's a better boxer than he is at times. And you saw that in his last fight. Now, Rongju, Rongju's that dude. I don't give a fuck what you think. Rongju, what is he, only 24, 25 years old? That guy is fucking, I think he's one of the best strikers in this division. Kody Steele knocked him down and had some real success until Rongju got in that flow state. So losing a striking match to Rongju is nothing to it's nothing to, I was going to say hang your hat on, but that's a good thing. It's nothing to get discouraged about. Or if you see Kody Steele and you're like, man, he didn't look good against Rongju. Rongju is he's a fucking dialed in individual. What I do worry about is he was getting eaten up by the jab of Rongju. And you guys know I love my fucking jabs. A little piston jab really gets me fucking going. And he was getting eaten up by the jab. And I came into this fight and this breakdown. I was like, well, as long as Fran doesn't have a good stiff jab, Kody Steele should be getting his boxing going and even mixing a takedown or whatever, because I think he's good enough or should be the better grappler than Fran. But as the fight goes on, Street Buddha is probably going to be a little bit fresher later on. But then I started watching a little more Street Buddha. I'm like, shit, it's not the fastest jab. It's not going to have the speed of Kody's shot, but he has a really long, a really nice jab. And if Kody Steele, can't get the wrestling going and is moving forward, woo, that one was almost an ender there. That one came from that hit me deep. That was almost an ender there. That must be when Angelo goes through fucking 15, 20 times a day. He's got to have unlimited of those type of burps, or he's just you know what I mean? But I do worry that Kody Steele, homes.com, thanks to our sponsor, homes.com. Find a home in a neighborhood you love. You need a home? Try to be a squatter. Figure that out. That's probably what I would recommend. Don't fucking buy a house with these interest rates. Rent if you have to. I would look into being a squatter because they seem like they got it fucking made. They just live in a house for free. I don't really get the whole thing, but, get the fuck out of my house, buddy. I do worry about Kody Steele kind of walking into a jab a little bit too much. And then once he starts getting eaten up with the jab, Then the takedowns stop working, and then it turns into a really close fight. So I am going to pick Kody Steele in this because I do think he's a better overall. He's an overall better fighter and going to be the faster striker. But this feels, I was going to be pretty high on Kody Steele because my bias on Damar, but I was like, man, he can stick a nice long jab out there. And that was like Cody's little kryptonite in the last fight versus Rongju. So I am going to pick Kody Steele. You know, I disagree with these. You know, I don't disagree with the number. You know. But I do disagree with these a little bit. I'm minus 185 seems a little bit healthy for Kody Steele. Maybe he's able to hurt Darman because Damar, when you do back him up against the fence, his striking defense isn't the best. But I think if you're playing Kody Steele, you just play like a TKO type of play and just kind of like, let's look at the bet. We got the bets right here. We can do anything. I mean, we can do anything we want. I just kind of forgot that I was not recording a video. We're live right now, so I can literally do anything I want. Kody Steele plus 375 is going to be interesting to me. Like Saturday, if we're streaming, first fight of the night, I think I'm taking a stab at it because he loves to pressure box. He is a good boxer. He's got decent pop in his hands. And if this guy Darmam is backing up against the fence, he can definitely light that guy up. Now, I do respect the toughness of this guy, but that's something I'm interested in. Maybe even just like an early to get greedy with it because I don't know if he's going to have the same pop late. And at that point, there's probably going to be a little bit more wrestling and grappling. Oh my God, they just added double chance. Holy shit. Breaking news. This is amazing. Bet Online. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Bet Online that's a big W for fucking Bet Online. They just added double chance finishes. They've never had this before. So you can get like Kody Steele by TKO or decision plus 105. I like that. Plus 105. I like that. So he can either win by TKO or win a decision. You're getting plus money. I guess the only thing they're worried about is like it's a submission, but Darmar getting submitted seems a little out of. I think Cody's going to be trying to box so they're not engage in the wrestling. So let's keep an eye on those. W for Bet Online for adding those fucking double chances, and we're going to be looking at those this week for sure, buddy. But yeah, let's move on. I'm on the Kody Steele side. I don't know where you guys are at, but that's where I'm at. Okay. Second fight of the night. We got Jonathan Micallef versus Themba Gorimbo. Themba Gorimbo, former lock of the week. Ain't no doubt about that. I'm not a huge fan of a Jonathan Micallef. Was kind of getting beat up and looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing that first round against Oban Elliott. 9-1. 4-1 in his last. I'm going to do the Angelo. 9-1. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Themba Gorimbo, 14-6, 3-2 in his last 5. You've got the Australian. You've got Jonathan Micallef coming in. I think he should smoke Themba, man. Themba just really isn't like who we thought he was going to be. He kind of, all he can do is kind of wrestle now. He came in that Jeremiah Wells fight and was like, I'm going to finish this fight, guarantee. Like in the fighter meetings, he was telling, I guarantee I'm going to finish this fight and stuff. And then went out and not only didn't get a finish, but lost the fight because he got tired. Now, if you look at his Instagram, he's like over in fucking Russia or something, doing God knows fucking what with little, it looks like a little boys. I don't know. Like, you can go look at his Instagram. It looks like he's just kind of like doing his own thing over in Russia. He's probably going to come in with a wrestling game plan. Jonathan Micallef's got power in his hands. He's a hittable guy. His defense kind of sucks, but Themba's not like the most dangerous striker in the world. Really powerful kicks. Good pop in his hands. We've seen Themba get dropped before, but Jonathan Micallef is a grappler. Like, that's what he does at his core. You saw that in the Oban Elliott fight, finally, once it got to that position, you saw how quickly he was getting those hooks in, get the choke in and stuff like that. So this feels like Themba's going to just wrestle early. Jonathan Micallef is either going to out scramble him early, and then Themba's going to be in real trouble. Or maybe Themba is able to land and have a lot of control on Jonathan off his back. He's trying to play jiu-jitsu a little bit too much, and then Themba wins the first round. But I think as the fight goes on, it's going to favor a guy like Jonathan Micallef. I just like him at home, a little bit more well-trained, can keep it standing if he wants to. And if Themba has to keep this fight standing second and third, I think he's in big fucking trouble. So after the first round, I think that's where this fight really, really starts. So I don't see Themba getting a first-round finish, and I think he's going to fade just like he did against Jeremiah Wells, and Jonathan Micallef's going to be there to either keep it standing and get like a TKO situation, or if he starts scrambling and winning scrambles. Obviously, we've seen Themba get submitted before, and even when he's not submitted, put in like pretty bad positions. So I'm pretty high on Jonathan Micallef here. I think he's going to probably get I think he's probably going to get a fucking finish. So if we're looking at fucking this fight, if you don't want to pay minus 235, double chance bonus, you could do, KO or decision. You could do, this one's a tough one because he could catch him on the ground or just kind of just knock him out with one of those big kicks or one of those big Australian paws that he has, one of those big kangaroo paws. Kangaroos got talons. Does anybody know? Yo, what's up, Deontay? But yeah, I'm looking at Micallef. I'm looking at maybe like a second, third round submission as Themba slows down. Maybe like a second or third round TKO is probably what we'll be looking at Saturday if we're streaming as Themba slows down. But I mean, he could find it early too. This is always the question that when I'm streaming, we ask ourselves. If we think somebody's going to get a finish, are we doing 1 and 2 or are we doing 2 and 3? This might be a 1, 2, 3 situation. He gets a KO in the first, or then he turns it into a second, round submission or something like that. So, but I think he's definitely going to be live for a finish, probably in like that. If I had to play it specifically and guess, I'd say like a second round. It's late first into the second, maybe like an early third. But this line's at 2.5. I kind of like the under on this one because I think once Themba stops controlling this fight, he's going to be kind of in trouble. And by the way, I posted on Twitter. Did you guys see that video I put on Twitter with Jonathan Micallef's corner? I talk all the time about like horrible corners, and these corners, like we just talked about on the stream and stuff like that, like Norman Dumont's corner, like lost her that fight. I don't even blame Norman Dumont, because if it's a close round and your corner is telling you, hey, you're winning and you're up 2-0, why would you not think that you're up 2-0? So yeah, you're going to coast a little bit in the third round. But if you rewatch Micallef's fight versus Oban Elliott, and you can I put on my Twitter too, or my X or whatever. You can follow me if you want. I don't really give a shit. Almost 20,000 on X though. So, give your boy a follow. The corner work for Jonathan Micallef was fucking fantastic. Those coaches are fucking locked in. I won't describe it too much, but go look at that video, or if you watch the fight, if you do tape study stuff, listen to his corner. It's fucking absolutely unbelievable. I like Jonathan Micallef in this, and that just is kind of what it is. I don't think Themba's going to be who we thought he was going to be. Not that we thought he was going to be like one of the best in the world, but definitely a guy, and I just don't think he's a guy. I think this is a changing of the guys. Like, one of these guys is a guy, and the other one's not quite a guy. And I think it's going to be Jonathan Micallef. So, yo, what's up, Big Maple Bets? Kangaroos aren't real, I don't think. Oh, boy. Next fight of the night, we got Wes Schultz versus Benjamin Button Johnston. First of all, Wes Schultz, in his last fight, one of the easiest reads we've ever made. I had Penis. I'm a big fan of Penis. Penis is something that I can't wait to see more of, to be honest. I mean, rock hard, a lot of power, good defense as well. You don't expect Penis to have as good a defense as it was, but I mean, Wes Schultz was all over Penis, and Penis just kind of shrugged it off, So, but that was a pretty easy read, just because as long as you had decent takedown defense, you were gonna smoke a Wes Schultz. But Wes Schultz is a good wrestler. He is a good grappler, like a really good wrestler and a really good grappler. And Ben Johnston, at his core, that's what he wants to do as well. And Ben Johnston is a guy that's retired like 2 times. Like, he retired in 2024, and then he just made a post last year about, like, he hurt his shoulder in a jiu-jitsu tournament. So then he's like, I'm done with combat sports again. And then all of a sudden it's like, they just need to, like, have fillers for this card or something. I don't know why he's on this fucking card. He's not like a UFC level guy. 2 fights ago, he fought a guy that's now 0-5. It was like this little fucking regional Asian. It was just a little guy. A lot of them are pretty short, except for Yao Ming. What a basketball player. He was like taller than Shaq, and Shaq was fucking huge. But this guy was fighting people that were like not very good, and I've seen him get taken down, and it just feels like Ben Johnston's not like a dangerous striker. These guys are probably gonna grapple, and I'll take the guy that's like actually kind of in like the prime of his career and wants to make this his living, and is probably gonna give it all he's got, and is already a natural wrestler and a natural grappler, versus a guy that's kind of just showing up to just, I don't know why he's here. Like, I'm sure he's been training for it and stuff, and he is a good grappler and stuff like that, but especially for the value here, like, I know Wes Schultz is Wes Schultz and stuff like that, but even against Damian, he did get 6 takedown attempts off. You saw he had some success against Mansour Abdul Malik. I don't like his striking, but this should be wrestling. This should be grappling. Ben will probably engage in the wrestling and try to just out scramble, and I like Wes Schultz to get it done. I think he can fucking choke out this guy. He's a pretty shout out to our sponsor, Homes.com. Find a home in a neighborhood you love. I just think he's going to be the better wrestler and the better grappler, and I think he's live for a finish against a guy that's retired a couple times. You know, if it's fucking, I don't know why this guy is fucking minus 200. It just seems very weird. I don't know what I'm missing. I know that Wes Schultz kind of sucks, but, you know, Ben Johnston's just kind of an Aussie. He's an Aussie grappler. And we've got a West. We got party time over here. You fucking wankers. So I'm going with Wes Schultz, and I think get a fucking submission win. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one. Johnston is a coach of a gym in Australia, and he's stepping in for a student who pulled out of injury, I think. Or am I thinking of another fight? That's pretty. I know he's a coach, but that would be pretty crazy, and that would make me like Wes Schultz even more. Like, I mean, it's a world where he like loses a scrambling match, but I don't think this is going to look like the fucking Damian fight, you know? Like, Wes Schultz is a really good wrestler, and he's a good grappler. So, you know, a lot of times when you got a wrestler or grappler versus kind of just a grappler type of guy, you know, the wrestler's doing pretty good. So, I just can't believe people are betting Ben Johnston no matter how bad they think Wes Schultz is, because the guy's not even a fucking real dude. You know? Well, I don't know. All I know, maybe it's the bad shrimp. They got good shrimp in Australia? I imagine, but I don't know. Maybe the waters are too warm or something? Where's the best shrimp at? I don't know. Where's Big Ange? Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. We have a madman on the loose. At least that's what police are calling it. A man by the name of Angelo Bodetti has broken out of his rehab facility, biting a nurse on his way out. If you see this individual in your neighborhood, possibly going through dumpsters, do not approach him. He is very dangerous. Police say he was last seen leaving a Denny's on Monday afternoon. He had ordered 12 Grand Slams, finished it off, and did not pay the bill. Angelo is listed at 5'7", 385 Police estimate he's up to 435 pounds this evening. Please stay safe. Next fight is Colby Thicknesse versus Vince Morales. And there's some people that really like Colby Thicknesse. And you guys know who some of those people are. And I was very high on Colby Thicknesse in his last fight. In fact, he was my lock of the week. And he showed what he can be in that fight. Good wrestler. Good grappler. Still a little bit lackadaisical in the striking. Still a little bit lackadaisical in the striking defense. Tough son of a bitch. I like Colby Thicknesse. But, you know, minus 170 against a guy like fucking Vince Morales? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Vince Morales, I know that he's got a lot of losses. 16-10. And this is no disrespect to Colby Thicknesse. I think that this is the easiest matchup Vince has had in a while. That's not saying that Colby can't win this fight. There's going to be a lot of weird scrambles. It's probably going to come down to the judges or who has more control. And sometimes Vince will be a little bit too aggressive, chasing weird submissions like the Peruvian neckties and stuff like that, lose positions and lose rounds because of it. So I'm not saying Colby can't win this fight. But this feels like the most 50-50 fight I've ever seen maybe in my life, because Vince Morales knows what the fuck he's doing. Not only does he know what the fuck he's doing in the wrestling, in the grappling, and will be offensive with almost every position, he is going to be the way better striker. You know what I mean? So if all of a sudden Vince Morales decides, hey, instead of chasing all this weird shit, let me just keep this fight standing and box this kid. Oh no. Colby probably is going to lose that fight. Vince Morales is a good striker. He's not the most dangerous guy, but he's a good technical striker. And Colby just isn't a very technical guy. He's just Mr. Tippy Toes. Almost fights like a little fucking Alex Morono. Fucking, you know, fucking Tippy Toe Alex Morono. You know, yeah, fucking Tippy Toe Alex Morono. Yeah, fucking, yeah, with the lead hook. That's who he reminds me of without the power of an Alex Morono. So, you know, I got to go with the dog here, not only just for the value, but I think Vince Morales is going to be the better fighter. I think he's a better fighter. And if we're not picking the better fighter, I don't know what we're doing. If Colby's able to get the takedowns, get the top control, and win the fight, fine. But Vince Morales is the better striker. He's the faster striker. He can grapple just as well, in my opinion. So if the grappling is even, and this stays standing, oh my God, Vince is going to win that fight. Give me fucking Vince Morales. What's the next one? Oh, we didn't even look at fucking bets, but just take the money line. Let's not, you don't have to get greedy here. How do I go back? Should we open a pack right now? Yo, Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Meerschaert. Give me Jacob Malkoun. Probably first round or second round, because Gerald is going to get hit and go to the ground, and I don't know. So give me Jacob Malkoun. That's an easy breakdown. Let's open a fucking pack real quick. Just because I want to feel something right now. By the way, like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Let's open up a pack. Shout out to Matty Betts. Shout out to Hum a Fight. Collectibles.com. You can go here. This is sponsored. Part of the stream. But we have a lot of fun opening these packs. I sold a pack. We have 3 packs to open. The most we've gotten on one is a What was it? It was like $67, $68, something like that. Was it it wasn't the Wei Lee, it was the I don't know. Let's open a pack right now and see what we got. Angelo got some good stuff. What was his card? He got like a $130 card or something, right? These are $60 a pack. You can get cards up to like $1,500 in value. And if you guys want to open them, these are digital openings, but they're real cards. You can get the cards either. You can sell them instantly or get the cards sent to you. Let's open one now and just see what we got here, baby. Come on! Lawler? Money. Come on. Let's open one more. Let's get the taste out of our mouth there. Let's get the taste out of our mouth there. That was Gerald and Almeida. Let's open a different one. Come on. Big money on this one. Big money on this one. Minor setback for a major comeback. This one's going to be a few $100s. I can feel it in my loins. Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian. Both guys should 100% not be in the fucking UFC. Neither one of these guys should be in the fucking UFC. And my God, Junior Tafa is almost minus 200. This guy that is one loss away from being 6-6 in his fucking career, fighting a 9-foot-tall Brazilian who knows how to wrestle and grapple. Have fun. If you're playing the Junior Tafa money line, you should be spawned into Arc Raiders and shot in the head in game. Just play him like. Let's just look at the bets on this one. Shout out to our sponsor, Homes.com. Find a home in a neighborhood you love. Let's look at the fucking bets. Like, I mean, what are you doing playing a money line on Junior Tafa? Play first round KO and just go on with your fucking day. It's plus 170. Play it for whatever you want to play it instead of the money line and just go about your fucking day. Because he's either going to clip this guy early, which it's possible, or he's going to get taken down, get tired, and either get submitted or TKO'd, probably by this Kevin Christian guy. Now, this Kevin Christian guy is not good. He is a bum. I am picking Junior Tafa as a pick to win because the fight starts on the feet. Junior Tafa can knock people out. And honestly, you know, if we're talking about Junior Tafa and his record and stuff like that, we do have to get in there a little bit and just talk about he had Billy Elicana almost knocked out. You know, knocked him down. Tukos, he almost knocked him out like 2 or 3 times. So now, you know, he's on a 3-fight win streak, this and that. So I say all that just to remind you, he is still hurting people in fights. And if he's touching the chin of this Kevin Christian, who fights like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, he fights like he's fucking absolutely... His face is like... just leaning back, this tall-ass motherfucker. And when he comes in, he leaves his chin exposed. So Tafa probably just knocks this guy clean out. But if he comes in with a wrestling game plan, you know, it takes Tafa down. Tafa, at some point in his career, has just said, I don't really give a shit about learning cardio. I don't really give a shit about training takedown defense. I'm just going to be who I am. So I think Kevin should wrestle, but give me Junior Tafa in this one. And that's all. I mean, both these guys are not, they're not UFC level. So, you know. Next up, we got Cam Rowston versus Robert Bryczek. A little bit of open and honest, biasy stuff here. But I'm sticking to my fucking guns, and I don't give a shit. Because every time in 2026 I've gone away from my instincts, I've been smoked. Cam Rowston is not very good. I don't care, man. I don't care. He's got okay power. His striking is stiff. He fights like a tall guy, just leaning straight back with his defense. There's no fucking footwork, dipping to the side. There's no fucking head movement. He's just kind of leaning back, and he's just lucky that nobody's been aggressive enough or fast enough to catch him while he's doing all that nonsense. He's really a wrestler and a grappler at his core, but he's fallen in love with all these KO and TKOs. And this guy, Robert, is going to knock him the fuck out. You understand? I don't care. I'm willing to look stupid. This isn't fucking bitch boy Angelo pussyfooting breakdowns talking about this guy might win or this guy could win and it's a tricky fight and we don't really know and maybe stay away from this one. Robert is going to knock him clean the fuck out. He's a pressure boxer with unbelievable speed and power in his hands. Almost took off Brad Tavares' head off in the first round of that fight, coming off that Ehor fight where he was open and honest about he looked like fucking shit and was going to prove himself and prove to everybody who he was as a fighter. Knocked out Brad Tavares. Now he's coming in against this fucking, what's his nickname? The Baby Giraffe or something stupid? The hell is this guy's name? What is it? Battle Giraffe or something? He's getting that neck fucking broke. Robert's taking his fucking head off. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind on Cam Rowston, but every time I watch him, like I talked to Cody Brundage about that fight. I'm like, dude, you could beat this guy, man. Like if you land that right hand, you're going to fucking, and it looked like Cody fucking buzzed him. Do you guys remember that? In his last fight, Cody landed like just a little short shot that kind of like buzzed him. In his last fight. No offense to Cody, but I think he would agree this guy Robert throws with some fucking nasty shit. Fast as fuck. I played Robert first round KO. I played Robert second round KO. If it goes past that, it is what it is. I think one of the best bets you can make on this card is Robert by KO because he's going to give you a fucking chance at it. I promise you that. I don't think Cam Rowston's going to knock him out with a first punch that he throws. Clip that if that happens. But Robert's going to give you a chance at that fucking KO, TKO. I think that's one of the best bets you can fucking play on this card. I think Robert just knocks him out. I'm not going to pussyfoot around with fucking breakdowns. If I got to read, I'm going to tell you, okay? Come back and tell me I'm stupid or tell me, wow, what a guy, what a man. Anybody remember that video? Is Angelo okay? No, he's not okay. Did anybody remember that video of the guy that, what did he do? He did acid and then his friends filmed him. He was like talking to himself in the closet. One of the best videos of all time. One of the absolute best videos of all time. What's the next fight? Oh, main card time. We got Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa versus Louie Vanilla Gorilla Sutherland. Ty Tuivasa 0-5 in his last 5. Hasn't won since 1999. Louie Sutherland on a quick turnaround in a short notice fight. Coming in across the world, taking over for... Who was in this fight? It was a winnable fight. Oh, it was Sean Sharif or Sharif. whoever the fuck his name is. Yeah, that was going to be a good fight for Tai. And honestly, let's just get the pick out of the way and then we could talk about it. I like Louie Sutherland. Tai, minus 200, minus 150, whatever it is right now. Yeah, he's always live to take somebody's head off. Louie came in against a powerful striker in his last fight. And what'd he do? He shot a fucking blast double. Now, Petrovic, whoever the fuck his name is, was able to defend the takedown and look good doing it. Tuivasa isn't defending a blast double like that against Louie Sutherland. I think Louie Sutherland can come in. Now, if he just starts trading with the guy, it's going to be really bad. Oh, it's good. Shout out to our sponsor, Homes.com. Find a home in a neighborhood you love. Obviously, if he stands there and trades, it's going to turn into like a 50-50 situation. But if he's getting like a blast double, I think he's getting nasty with it and could even find a first-round KO, TKO type situation. Now, I don't trust a guy like Louie Sutherland except for playing like I said, like an early knockout or something like that. But, even as a pick, I think he can hold his own in the striking a little bit. But I think he's just going to wrestle. I think he's going to shoot that blast double. I think he's going to wrestle. I think he's going to do his thing. And I think he's just going to win the fight. Now, Tai takes his head off. He takes his head off. I'm not fucking, like I said, I'm not fucking putting a money line bet on Louie Sutherland, but I got to sit here like a goddamn grown-ass man and make you pick. If I could not pick, because there's people, I guess, that just don't pick some fights. Is that real? There's people that just, only pick, 7 fights a card? The hell is that? I'm picking Louie Sutherland because I think he can just wrestle. And then we've seen Tai Tuivasa, if he gets wrestled, all of a sudden he doesn't really have power. And then it turns into, Louie just won the first round of wrestling. And now we just got to try to win one more round. And fucking maybe he gets another takedown as well. So short notice, all that stuff. He's not a good fighter in his own right. But I like Louie because I saw him last fight shoot takedowns. And I think those takedowns will work versus Tai. So just depends on the game plan from Louie in that one. Angela is in the hospital. He got a matchbox stuck up his butt. It's close. It's close. Tai was on his back 10 seconds in the Towson fight. Louie could probably do the same. Yeah, I agree. Like Towson, that was one of the most telegraphed takedowns of all time. The guy's 9 foot tall, being like, like it took him forever to shoot that shot. Louie's already fucking low center of gravity, just fucking bull rushing people. He basically just bull rushed Petrovic in the last fight. I've seen it with my own eyes. Next fight on the main card, we got Shamil Gaziev versus who we were just talking about, Brando Petrovic, the Balkan Bear. Shamil Gaziev. That dude got fucking flatlined in his last fight. Brandon Petrovic withstood the Louis Vuitton takedowns early and then knocked him out. Little TKO, but here's what, this is, you know what? I forgot about this. I said that, what'd I say? Something by KO was one of the best bets on the board or something. If you guys all don't just put $1 on this for me, I don't even know if the odds are still. I got it plus 600, but what are we doing here? The hell are we doing here? This feels like a 50-50 KO situation between these two gentlemen. I know Shamil was just knocked out by Waldo, but Waldo was just crazy technical, crazy fast. Brando's fast, but he's not that technical. He's supposed to, he's he's a pressure, he's going to go for it type of fighter, and he's got power, and obviously he can knock out Shamil. But when these boys are throwing, or Shamil's standing in front of him, I think Shamil is the more accurate, better striker, in boxing range. If they start brawling out, that would probably favor a guy like Brando. But if Shamil is pressuring Brando in that same kind of methodical, smart pressure that he was pressuring Waldo with, I don't think Brando's going to land the same shot that Waldo was landing. He doesn't have the same fucking pop of his jab or nice hooks or the same speed as the punches that Waldo was throwing. I just can't believe that you can get this guy Shamil with knockout power against a guy that's probably going to bring pressure and is going to be willing to engage for plus 500. I don't know what's going on. So that's how I see this fight. I'm actually taking Shamil because if this turns into a brawl, it's probably going to favor a guy like Brando. But if Shamil's just kind of that smart, pressure with that dumbass grin on his face, pumping the jab, and then is able to sneak that right hand in there, if Brando slips and rips it and returns it, knocks him out, it is what it is. But again, when I said that the best bet on that Polish guy, is it Polish? Against the battle giraffe was like an auto bet, like he's going to give you a chance. I feel like plus 500, Shamil's going to throw at least 2 punches that are going to knock out Brando if they connect. And you're getting that for plus 500. I think that's worth the risk. But I'm taking Shamil as a pick. Like, again, I would rather, tell you guys, like, play this. Don't just play like a money line and don't put them in, like, parlays and stuff like that. But I'm not a bitch. I'm going to make a pick. Shamil's my pick because I think he's a more technical striker. So, if it brawls, I think it favors Brando. But, that's what it is. I'm taking Shamil. Steve Erceg versus Tim Elliott. And I've seen it all week. And I've seen it all this week. Ooh, Euphoria. Sydney, oh, Sydney. Oh, Sydney, Sydney Sweeney. Those 2 old biddies, those soft old biddies. Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. And people have been saying it all week. Like, how is this guy minus 400? How is this guy this? How is this guy that? Let's look at the odds right now and see where they're at. I can't believe they have Steve Erceg as this big a favorite. Now he's down to minus 255. Guys, Tim Elliott's not that good. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. He's a fucking junkyard dog. He's an awkward guy. He's pretty good on the ground, but he's not like unbeatable on the ground. Like, he's fucking almost lost as many submissions as he has wins and stuff like that. Yeah, he choked out Kai Asakura. Like, congratulations. That guy doesn't know how to fucking wrestle. Suma Durji, kind of the same situation. Victor Altamirano's like, it is what it is. Like, he does have decent wins in there, but, he'll do some weird stuff, but he's really not that good. Steve Erceg, pretty good. The guy was like a national fucking wrestling guy in Australia. Now it's Australian wrestling and stuff like that, but I know people have their hatred for Steve Erceg and stuff like that, but the guy is pretty dialed in. He's going to be the more technical striker. Obviously, this fight is probably going to be close, and Tim Elliott is going to be awkward and stuff like that. But if Tim Elliott comes in and thinks he's going to, like, wrestle this guy, I just don't think it's going to happen. And if Steve Erceg all of a sudden decides to just kind of counter-wrestle and show off his wrestling and grappling, I think he can easily out-grapple this guy. Like, that's why the odds were minus 400. That's why they're still minus 255. Like, Tim Elliott, he's a dog. He might come in and Cody Durden this fight. I think a lot of people probably, after last week are even more hesitant to play a guy like Steve Erceg. And personally, I kind of like these guys like Tim Elliott. Like, at Saturday, we'll probably have some action on some wild Tim Elliott shit, right? But as a pick, Erceg's the better fighter. He's like the legit title contender type of talent. Like, is he actually going to win the belt? I don't know. Like, he was a round away. He was one decision away from being the fucking champion of the world. He is a technical striker. He can't handle himself easily in the wrestling, in the grappling, gets a Tim Elliott. So it's like, I gotta go Steve Erceg in this one. Like, there's a lot of like weird Erceg hate, but Tim Elliott's he's just kind of tough and can get a little bit wiry in the scrambling versus people that are also a little bit lackluster. But Erceg is pretty dialed in the wrestling and the grappling and stuff like that. So, Tim was hanging with Micallef in the grappling. He will dominate Erceg if it's on the ground. Okay, buddy. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Co-main event. Quillan Salkill versus Beneil Dariush. This is going to be a Quillan pick. Okay? It's going to be a Quillan pick. The hell is this at? Awaken your senses. Puerto Rico. Oh, they know me well. Puerto Rico. This is going to be a Quillan play, but I've told you guys that Quillan, Mr. Salkilled isn't that good. He's just not that good. He's a powerful striker, but that guy's just not a good striker. He got the big kicks and stuff like that. Not a good striker. You guys saw, and I've been trying to tell everybody, like, what he does is wrestling and grappling. Like, Quillan is a wrestler. Quillan is a grappler. That is what his bread and butter is. That is what his fucking creme de la creme is for his attributes. Does he have power in his hands? Sure. Does he have power in his kicks? Absolutely. If he touches a guy like Dariush, is he going to knock him out? Probably. That's what everyone says is going to happen in this fight. That's why you got to pick him in this fight. But, you know, Dariush all of a sudden comes in with a wrestling game plan for once in his life and doesn't wait until he gets like hurt, like against Moicano. Like, got lucky in that fight that the round ended and then he was able to wrestle and grapple. But you guys just saw how good Moicano's grappling is. You guys just saw how Dariush dominated Moicano in the grappling. Like, Dariush is probably the best grappler in this fucking division. Like, you saw his defensive grappling against a guy like Gamrot and stuff like that. So, I get it. You're going to put Salkilled in every single parlay and stuff like that. But if Dariush is just playing smart, catches that first kick, and takes this kid down, he is fucking mauling Salkilled. I don't give a fuck. He is mauling this guy. All that said, I'm still picking Quillan. Every fight starts on the feet. He should, if Dariush is shooting takedowns, he should be able to withstand that stuff. But a lot of times, these wrestlers and grapplers, man, when somebody is shooting a takedown on them, it's not about defend, it's about scramble. Like, I know how to wrestle. Their instincts are to try and counter whatever. And you're not going to out-grapple and counter-grapple a guy like Dariush. He will stay on you and win the scramble. So, if you're Quillan, I think you just you're the big favorite, home, whatever. Keep it on the feet. Try to knock this guy out. But let's not forget Dariush has power as well. So, this is a little bit of a Angelo breakdown to where it's like, picking Quillan, but I think Angelo, actually, in this breakdown on Thursday, we're probably going to be live, me and him Thursday, it's probably going to be like, hey, he's going to knock him out, it's going to be easy. And I'm going to be like, well, I don't know. But I'm also a little bit biased against Quillan. I mean, he is a wrestler, he is a grappler at his core, and Dariush is better than that. So, or better at that. So, I don't know. It's hard to bet a guy like Dariush at this point in his career. I've just seen him get cracked way, way, way too many times, but he's still not a fucking slouch. So I think that if I'm just envisioning fucking Saturday, like Dariush just gets a takedown in the first minute, and then people are like, "Oh fuck, oh shit," because Salkill's not winning a grappling match. I just don't think it's going to. So let me take a drink, and then we're gonna get to the main event here. How you guys feeling out there? Short and sweet, to the point. Did you like this stream? We could take some questions and comments, I guess, after the main event, but this one you're going to want to hold on to your butts for. There's no doubt about that. Do I have another pack to open? Let's open one more pack. We have one more pack to open, and then we'll get to the main event here. Get this off the screen, and we're due for this one. This is going to tell me everything about my read on the main event. I'm pretty locked in on my read. You guys know my bias in this fight and stuff like that. But let me just feel this pack, and let me just see if we're going to be really fucking dial in on this one. Here we go. Again, collectibles.com, home of fight, Maddie Bets. This is sponsored and stuff like that, but I fucking love opening cards. If you guys didn't know, I've spent like $10,000 opening cards. You can see. I have boxes and boxes of cards. We might get back into it, or we might just keep doing these. Here we go! read scripts, read me. Come on, man. We're due for a big one. Hey. Just had the big win. That's a future champ right there. Remember, the packs are 60, so this one was almost even money on this one. 54 on this one. Hey, that's a future champion right there, Vicente. Cooked all your guys' parlays. Cooked them all. Cooked mine as well. Cover the new Freaky Rahiki matchup. Okay, Freaky Rahiki is going to win. Let's move on to the main event. Let me pull up Tapology. Little Tapology boys here. Main event time. We've got Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos the Nightmare Prates. Jack Della Maddalena. For full bias transparency for this fight. Full bias transparency for anything that has to do with this fight. I have said for years, and nobody was listening to me in 2023, 2024, all that stuff. I said there is one man that is far and above and the best 170 fighter on planet Earth. And that man is Jack Della Maddalena. I've been talking about this guy for years. His boxing is off the charts. He was my lock of the week versus Bilal Muhammad. I came in and said, you guys don't understand. He can be even better than that. Wait until he fights Islam. He is going to defend the takedowns and fuck that dude up. That didn't exactly happen the way I thought it was going to happen. But he did become the champion of the world at 170. I'm a big fan of Jack Della Maddalena. I love what he brings. Shout out to our sponsor, Homes.com. Find a home in a neighborhood you love. I love everything that he brings into a fight. Fantastic boxer. I told everybody, like, you go, oh, he went through a split with Basel Hafez. That shit was bullshit. He smoked him in that fight. Defended 17 takedowns. Oh, he went through a split decision with Kevin Holland. That was bullshit as well. That was a sparring match for Jack Della Maddalena. He was doing whatever the fuck he wanted in that fight. Oh, he was losing to Gilbert Burns. Yeah, he was losing a little bit to Gilbert Burns, but he had a shattered arm. He couldn't post on his arm, still figured that one out. I like Jack Della Maddalena. I have picked against Carlos Prates for my lock of the week. I had Charlie Radke as my lock of the week versus Carlos Prates. Because I was not sold on this guy's ability. You saw Trevin Giles. You want to talk about a good boxer with a good jab? Trevin Giles, a few years ago, was lighting this guy, Carlos Prates, up. Now, my breakdown for that fight was Trevin Giles is probably going to be looking really good until he gets knocked out. That's pretty much how that fight played out. Trevin Giles was outboxing this guy, and then Prates was just like, wait, left hand. Boop. And Trevin Giles was like, and maybe that's how this fight goes. I don't know. I'm just being open with my biases. Carlos Prates, yeah, he lost to Ian Gary. And a lot of people are doing that MMA math. Ian Gary did the Carlos Prates and, another good striker in Jack Della Maddalena. I get it. I get all that stuff. And if you're going to pick either fighter, the arguments make sense on both sides. If you're picking Jack Della Maddalena and you say, oh, Carlos Prates never fought a striker or a boxer like this and stuff like that, yeah, you're right. And if you're picking Carlos Prates and you're like, well, Jack Della Maddalena, he's going to be able to keep the range and stuff like that. He's going to have the power advantage. Yeah, you're right. Almost everybody is right in their breakdowns for this fight. But here's the difference to me. And again, I have bias in this. I'm biased for JDM. I'm biased against Carlos Prates. I put a tweet out in January or February when this fight was announced, maybe it was March or something like that. I said JDM is going to do unspeakable things to Carlos Prates. I think I've talked about it before, that when Carlos Prates and JDM fight, wait until you see Carlos Prates shooting takedowns because he's going to be so uncomfortable in the striking. Then I sat down this weekend. and Monday, and I watched the film, and I watched what people do best and what they need to succeed in fights. For Jack Della Maddalena, it's that left hand. It is the left jab to the body. It is that left stiff jab. He can fight from either stance, but even in that southpaw stance, he likes to throw the lead left hand as a power hand. He loves his left hand. He fights mainly orthodox. And when he gets that body jab going earlier, the jab going, you saw how fast he got his rhythm against Belal Muhammad, and Belal had to fight from behind pretty much the entire time. Now, that was Belal Muhammad, but Carlos Prates is a rangy southpaw. A rangy southpaw. That jab shouldn't be there. Now, Ian Gary was able to land a couple kind of step-in jabs and stuff like that. But Jack Della Maddalena wants to be offensive with this jab. He wants to be moving forward and sticking that, that nice fucking stick body jab and stay active with the jab. And that kind of sets everything up that he wants to do. Switching stances off the jab. Everything is based off of the jab. And when you guys got split stances, that jab is cut in half, if not more. It almost becomes virtually ineffective, especially in an offensive role. Ian Gary was able to land that jab a few times when Carlos Prates was moving forward, but Jack Della Maddalena, he wants to be the one moving forward. He's not really that counter-striker style. That's also the difference between Jack Della Maddalena and an Ian Gary. Ian Gary is comfortable just kind of backing up, counter-striking, throwing a lot of kicks to keep Prates active. Jack Della Maddalena, I imagine, is probably going to be throwing more kicks than he normally has because he's got to replace the jab with something. But Ian Gary was also kind of mixing in takedowns and stuff. And a lot of people are kind of banking on Jack Della Maddalena to kind of do the same and use kind of a wrestling, grappling approach maybe in this fight. But Ian Gary it was a little surprising but he didn't really have a lot of success. And when he was doing it, because he doesn't normally do it, he gassed out and almost got finished in that fight. If Jack Della Maddalena starts offensive wrestling, Prates has really good takedown effects, especially early in the fight. He'll probably just gas himself out because he's not used to doing it. I talked about this being a minutes versus moments fight. Like Jack Della Maddalena, it's probably going to be like the Trevin Giles fight at a higher level because I think Prates is way better now than he was in that fight. Every time you see him, he seems to get better and better. This feels like a minutes versus moments fight where Jack Della Maddalena is probably going to be winning the minutes. He's probably going to be a little bit more active with the hands. He's probably going to have I feel like he's going to be the one pressuring a little bit more with the boxing. Carlos Prates is going to be a little bit more comfortable wanting to kind of keep that range early and not engage in kind of a pocket boxing affair. So it's going to be minutes versus moments because Carlos Prates is probably going to have the bigger moments. If Jack Della Maddalena is switching to southpaw and trying to land that left hand, well, that's what Belal was kind of catching him at times. And Prates is a little bit different than a guy like Belal. And if he's just staying orthodox, you're going to see that power kick come up for Prates. You're going to see that body kick from Prates. Almost Prates, in my opinion, this could look like the Ian Gary and Prates fight, but flipped. With JDM pressuring forward into the kicks of Prates. JDM pressuring forward, but not able to really find a guy like Prates because he can't really get his jab going. And Prates taking more of that Ian Gary counter-striking role until he catches some momentum. And then it's that, he turns it almost that Politan, like stalking style with the hands down and weird jabs and weird shots from different angles. So I like Jack Della Maddalena. I love his boxing. I love what he brings into a fight. Underrated grappling, regardless of what you saw in the Islam fight. Underrated grappling, in my opinion. But I just don't think he's going to get the jab going. And if he's not getting a jab going, and he's not getting that body jab going, which is his whole basis of his entire flow, and now he's staying kind of at that split stance range with Carlos Prates, I'm taking Carlos Prates. And I can't believe I'm even here. And maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe I'm flipping my bias or whatever. But I like Jack. I went into this matchup just assuming, I'm going to pick Jack. And then I started watching the fights and stuff like that. I'm like, man, Carlos Prates, he makes people pay. When you make mistakes, he is there to capitalize. Ian Gary is probably the most technical striker in the division. Very few mistakes does he make. Like, he is just he's boring, But that's because he is so fucking just dialed in to what he wants to do. So he never really made mistakes, and Carlos Prates still almost finished him and won the fight. JDM makes mistakes. Like, you saw Kevin Holland landing on him. You saw Gilbert Burns landing on him. You saw Bilal Muhammad landing on him. You saw Basel Hafez landing on him. Like, he's fine making a few mistakes. Like, he trusts his boxing, and he trusts his high guard, and he'll try to, you know, go one, be first and last. Like, throw the jab, wait for you to counter, and then come back. Those are when the mistakes are made. This isn't the Ian Gary fight. This guy, JDM, will stand there. He will exchange. He will extend his combinations. He's not just going to point fight a guy like Carlos Prates. Ian Gary was a terrible matchup for Carlos Prates. I think Carlos Prates is a terrible matchup for Jack Della Maddalena, and I think that's as simple as it is. Now, if JDN comes in, pressure boxing, he's able to land and stuff like that, he's got all the talent, and I got all the respect. Nobody has loved JDN more than me. But matchup to matchup, I think this is a fucking horrible matchup for him. A rangy southpaw that's accurate with good takedown defense, has shown that he can go 5 rounds already. This isn't some like weird experience or like a matchup where we're like, oh, Jack Della Maddalena has been 5 rounds, but we don't really know about Carlos. We know about Carlos. We've seen it. You know, I think Jack is going to make some mistakes, and Carlos Prates capitalizes on mistakes so fucking well. And, you know, a lot of people say, because there's people in here, even in the chat right now, they're saying like this, oh, definitely not going the distance and stuff like that. I'd be a little bit surprised. I'd be a little bit surprised. I could see this kind of being like Prates like hurts him a few times, but Jack hangs in there, a little clinching and stuff like that. And this, you know, I could see this going to a decision, but you know, it just feels like a bad matchup for Jack Della Maddalena to me. So, and Carlos Prates has been, every time we see him, he gets better and better. Jack Della Maddalena, like, he's kind of been the same guy. Like, did you really see a jump up in what he does between Basel and Kevin Holland? Probably not. That's why it was a close fight. Did you see any jump from Kevin Holland to Gilbert Burns? No. Did you see a jump up in getting better from Gilbert Burns to Bilal Muhammad or whatever the order was? No, he was Bilal Muhammad's just not a good boxer. Like, Bilal was trying to box with him, but it was kind of the same JDM that was, you know, beating up Basel and Kevin Holland. It was just kind of beating up, like, he's just a good boxer. And then obviously you come into Islam and you look just completely unprepared for that fight. So I think Prates has been better and better every single time we've seen him. Every single time we fucking see him. I'm taking Prates in this one. I can't believe I gotten to this point. Saturday, we'll see how we play for the live stream and stuff like that. But, you know. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's the breakdown. That's the full card breakdown. Wrapped it up in about an hour or something like that. Well, I don't know if we're going to be streaming Saturday. Like, I want to. I definitely want to. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, make sure you like the video. I didn't even say anything about premium. So if you guys are still here and you're not a premium member, how about go become a premium member just because I didn't even talk about it once as like a thank you. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. And you get a whole bunch of stuff in there. Ansel's going to be real pissed that I didn't even like talk about it. So expect like a fucking 15-minute ad on Thursday because he's going to be really upset. But I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weeks. I might do another prop video later this week to kind of get more specific into the props. If you want that, comment below that you want that prop video. But I'm out of here, and enjoy your weeks, and we'll see how this... I'm excited for this card, man. I'm excited for this card. I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy your nights. Peace and love. You turned that... Yeah, I can't believe you turned that off. I can't believe... Imagine the person that was almost about to turn it off. And all of a sudden I started talking and they're like, holy shit, he's still alive. Oh my God. Now we start the fun portion of the stream. This is going to be the after hours. I'm just kidding. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. See you.